Well, this weekend, many of us will celebrate our grandparents. Sunday is Grandparents' Day, a time dedicated to showing love to our older family members and acknowledging the important role that seniors play to families and to our communities.
And here in the studio this afternoon with us is Marianne McBride, the president and CEO of the Council on Aging in Sonoma County. Marianne, thank you for the time. You're holding a book here, and this is part of a program that you recently launched to help older clients sort of tell their life stories. They sit down and do interviews with volunteers. Talk about why you launched this program and why it's important for older adults to put their experiences down on paper.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, you may or may not know that the Surgeon General says that isolation and loneliness has the same effect on health that smoking a pack of cigarettes a day has. So we provide the Meals on Wheels program in Sonoma County, and we recognize that our seniors were isolated, lonely, and many suffering from depression. We found this program, Tellegacy, and we thought this would be ideal to match seniors with a young person. So we go with volunteers and interns. They're paired. We have a staff who does that. The intern or volunteer visits the senior every week for a 8-week period. And during that time, they get to know each other. They bring, the volunteer brings lunch, so they have lunch together. They build a relationship. They talk about the senior's life. They look at pictures. The senior shares their memories, and all the while the volunteer is interviewing them. At the end of that 8-week period, they put together a book that tells their life story. So in this case, this was, the senior was Catherine, and the volunteer that worked with her was Hannah. And you can see their picture right there.
That's sweet.
Absolutely sweet. So at the end, Hannah would go back and she writes the senior story, and she pulls from the pictures that they've gone over. And we have a staff person who, of course, helps have them printed, and they get this lovely hardbound book.
That's wonderful.
That's the story of their life, and it just shows them that somebody cared about their life, and they have something to leave for their family. So I don't know who you are, but we don't always remember to ask all the questions that we need to.
That's true. Marianne, this is about more, though, than just creating a book, right? This is about creating a friendship, a relationship for, as you said, so many of these seniors who may feel lonely and isolated.
Absolutely. Intergenerational relationships are so important to seniors. As people get older, they'll lament that their friends are passing away and they don't really have anyone left. So this gives them the opportunity to get to know a young person, and also a young person to get to know them. And there's such richness in that relationship.
I was going to ask you about the other side of the equation, the interns and the volunteers who are spending all this time and sitting down with older adults and learning their life stories. What do you feel like they are getting out of that experience?
Just a rich appreciation of history and of a different generation growing up, raising families, having a career, new appreciation, but also a treasured friendship that continues even after this is over.
Yeah, and there's a client who said this about, this opportunity and this experience. This is from Joan, and she says, "It makes me feel like my life is worthwhile, and it has been, every minute of it, the good times as well as the bad." I mean, this is also about telling an older person that they are important and that they matter.
And so many times seniors don't feel that anymore. They feel that their experience, their wisdom isn't really valued anymore in this changing world. So to have a young person that makes them feel as though their life had value, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, really special. I know. I want my life to be put down in a book. I'm thinking about all of this now. With that being said, people might be watching this and might be thinking to themselves, especially since it's going to be National Grandparents' Day coming up this weekend. They have older relatives in their lives. What would you say to someone who might be thinking, maybe we should do something like this with Grandma or Grandpa and sit down and put their life story on paper?
Absolutely. I think it's a great opportunity for families to get together together maybe once a week and talk and share pictures and memories and take on the creation of the book. But it's also a fabulous idea for like a whole classroom, for a teacher to assign. Pick an older adult, whether it's your neighbor or a grandparent if you're so lucky to still have one, but find someone. It'll be a treasured relationship really for the rest of their lives.